Hey guys, this is No Lure, and today I'm going to talk about the, as far as PvP goes on the Mage spec. And right now one of the best ones is going to be Arcane. I know a lot of people are going to throw a little hissy fit about that because fire, now you have the ability to freely scorch, which, I mean, it's really good for BGs, but as far as arenas go, especially if you have the right setup, you can rape some face with Arcane, especially when you get some blast off, and even just duels alone. I'll explain that here in a second. First off is just, the mastery talent's going to kick some face. You have the extra damage just done from your your mana alone. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, you're going to get the improved counterspell, which is a given for PvP, the silence. And then you're going to get your arcane concentration, and the reason behind that is for when you go down here and you spec into arcane potency, so that way when you get your clear casting state, you increase your critical strike chance. Alright, so next we have, you're pretty much going to get Torment of the Weak, which is really good now that they set up the slow effect with that. So I'll explain that here in a second. Of course, you're going to have some of the talents and abilities you're going to pick and choose from based on your own style of play. But improved arcane missile is going to be a must because you can proc that almost anything now, and it does very good damage, especially when you get the reduced casting and barrage. Presence of Mind, it's pretty much a given. Arcane Flows reduces your cooldowns. And Arcane Tactics. Incanter Absorptions. Now, what I love about this for rogues and warriors that charge and knock it, just the knockback, and that gives you a warning that you need to get your next shield up. Now, this right here is probably one of the best that I've seen so far. The fact that they give you the improved polymorph for the stun, which I'll explain the rotation behind it, why that's really awesome right now. And you got slow. Definitely get the nether vortex because as soon as you blast, okay, now I will say, if you're one of those people that like to put your slow somewhere else on another target, then I would suggest not getting into this, because if you like to put your slow on a healer, that way you can, if you're running twos with, say, a rogue, you can put the slow on the healer, that way they can't cast fast, and then you can, attack their DPS while your rogue sits and stuns and puts their crit poison on them. But I like the nether vortex just for playing around with world PvP, and then plus I run a whisk cleave, so. And then next we have arcane potency, which is a must. Focus magic, pretty much for your partner, unless you're, again, you're running with a rogue, then kind of pointless. Depends on what setup you're going with. So, don't copy mine to exact, depending on what you run. Now, improved mana gem is really good. Definitely get it because your spell power will definitely go through the roof. I'll explain why here in a second. That's really good to get into. Now, you should have one of your little freebie points sitting over, and then you can pretty much. What I chose to do with my point, or the last 2 points hopefully, is the improved blink, just that 70% speed increase, which helps you get away and behind the boxes and things like that. Now you get the arcane power, which you pop. Alright, the best cooldown right now, before I go specking everywhere else, is going to explain something real quick. You're going to have your arcane power, you're going to macro that in with your mana gem, and then your mini heroism, so you pop all that, get your 20% haste going, and then you start arcane blasting. What you do is a arcane blast, or well, typically what I do is a polymorph, where you can do arcane blast, polymorph, then pop your macro, and then they won't get all their health back during that initial polymorph because it's not going to come back around fast enough. And then you can pop an arcane blast, so therefore there's your first stack while they're polymorphed. Then they get stunned. You can blast again, which will be your double stack. And then you can palm blast, which is going to crit their face off. I mean, you're pretty much, they're already going to be almost dead right there. If they're a spellcaster, they're screwed because you got your counter spell up. So you pop that, fourth one, fifth one, they're pretty much going to be, good to go. They're going to be raped. And I'll explain something else here in a second about that. And then, if it's a rogue or even a warrior, you already got the slow on them, so they're going to be screwed against that too. Okay. Now, what I do like to do over here is the burning, so, less damage, or pushback during damage. Now, I like improved fire blast, and I'll tell you why here in a second. And then blazing speed for any time somebody's on you. It's awesome for world PvP. This is pretty much a world PvP domination spec, I'll tell you that right now. And lastly, impact. So, let's say you're doing your blast during the polymorph, and then you proc a impact stun. So therefore, you have an additional 2-second stun, so you can poly, blast, blast, palm blast, silence, blast, blast. Say you get a proc of this, of your impact, boom, hit them with a impact stun, and it's pretty much, I mean, odds of surviving all that's going to be very, 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 very slim. Especially when your crit gets high enough, when you're 85 and everything, and crit goes to the roof. So I have 1 point left over. You can, some people really, they like the prismatic cloak, depending on what they run. I don't like nether protection, or nether wind presence, sorry, because you already got your mini heroism now, and most of the gear you're already going to have off of, you're going to have plenty of haste, so that, that 1% is not going to make a big difference. So what I typically like to do is using the invocation. In fact, you can get 5% more spell damage for 8 seconds if you hit your counter spell right, or you poly to interrupt, or you do an impact stun to interrupt. So hopefully this gives you a really good idea about, at least this is a really good world PvP and PG spec. It's a whole lot of fun. I mean, fire's good too because you can freely scorch. So I mean, it's all up to you what style of play you like. And hopefully this, gives you some insight, gives you an idea of how, you want to start speccing your tunes for PvP and stuff like that. So hope that helps you out, and good luck with your World of Warcraft PvP success. My name is Nolan Lure. Feel free to subscribe to my video list, and I'm going to get some more, PvP information up, and, try to get a rotation build on my Mage to show y'all how to do this stuff. So there you have it.